Good morning, world history students. Today we're going to talk about our Unit 4 project, which is going to be a Lino collage, which is going to conclude our study of West Africa. For this project, you're going to choose one of the three West African empires that we've studied in our course so far of West Africa, and those three empires include Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. So your job is to choose one of these empires and you will create one collage based on that empire. If you go ahead and take a look at our haiku page, I've included all the directions for this project. We need to make sure that we incorporate and include these 8 components for our project. So real briefly, I'm going to go through some of these components to make sure that we understand what is expected on your collage. So the first thing you need to include is a title, okay? And this needs to include your West African empire. So for example, if you choose Mali, you might include the word Mali somewhere in that title. You need to include at least 4 images that relate to your empire. Please make sure those images are relevant to the empire you've chosen. The third component is make sure that we include dates that this empire was in power. And you can go ahead and use the timeline in our textbook on page 146 to help you figure out those dates. The fourth component is I want you to provide a brief description of one important ruler from your empire. So for example, if you were to choose the Empire of Mali, you might choose Mansa Musa as one of your important rulers. Components 5 through 8, you're going to answer questions on your collage. So for example, component 5 asks the question, how was trade important to the empire? So for this question, you might think about what we learned so far about the salt and gold trade in West Africa and how trade played an important role in the power these empires had. So make sure you read over these directions and that you know what we need to include on our collage. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and talk about how to set up a Lino collage. So I want you to go to your apps page on your Google account, and we should have downloaded the application Lino, which is an online based tool. So make sure you have that downloaded. Once it's downloaded, I want you to click on the app, and you'll see this page with different canvases. So because you're starting a new canvas, you're going to click this box over here that says create a new canvas. I have already created an example, so I want to go ahead and show what a collage might look like for you guys. Okay, so for example, I made an example collage on the Empire of Mali. So here you can see I have my title, Mali, a West African Empire. That satisfies the first component of our project. And then you can see that I have different pictures. Here I have a picture of a map. Here I have a picture of Mansa Musa. Here I have a picture of some architecture from Mali during that time period. So this collage really allows you to be creative where you can move pictures around. You're inserting post-its with information. So make sure that you're meeting those criteria on our directions. So whenever you want to add information to your collage, you can go ahead and add a post-it. So I'll briefly demonstrate how you would add a post-it to your collage. So for example, I'm going to come over here to the right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to see this little box on top. So you can choose different color post-its for this purpose. I'm going to go ahead and choose blue. So then I'm going to talk about in this post-it about the salt and gold trade. Okay, so here I might label the salt and gold trade, and I'll go ahead and post it. And in this post-it, you might expand about how the salt and gold trade helped bring power to your empire. Okay, if it wasn't the salt and gold trade, it might be another form of trade. So in this post-it, I would go ahead and input details about the salt and gold trade, in this case for the Empire of Mali. So if you want to add pictures or videos, you're going to go to the top right hand corner once again to this box up here, and you'll see you can insert photographs. You can download them from the internet onto your computer and then upload them onto this application. In addition, you can embed videos. So if you find a good video on YouTube, you would go ahead and copy that URL and then paste that into here, and that video will be embedded onto your collage. So once again, I really want you guys to be creative with your collages. Make sure you do add a lot of pictures. Remember, 4 pictures is the minimum. So please feel free to add more pictures. Organize your post-its, organize your pictures however you want. Just make sure that you're completing all 8 components of your collage. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, I hope this video helped and good luck on your projects, guys.